I'm Nik Madriñan. I'm a money mindset and life coach. So important to reflect on what do you truly want for yourself. And that is a question that, especially habang bata pa tayo in this younger generation, it's good to start building that skill of being true to ourselves. Not setting goals out of pressure from society, pressure from our parents, pressure from what our friends are doing. And so it's good for you to really sit down and reflect by yourself and ask yourself, if I were to live life true to myself, what goals would I prioritize this year? And that's always a great skill for you to have in setting personal goals, because that's also how you will align your financial habits, your financial targets, so that you would be able to fund your personal goals. We can't expect na ano yung ginagawa ng kapitbahay natin, ay yung kaibigan natin. That's also how we will template it for ourselves. In order for you to get clear on what to prioritize, it's for you first to check, what is my life stage right now? So for example, if you are planning to start a business, then your first priority would be, okay, how much funds do I need to start this kind of business? And then, so I would say there are three kinds of categories for you to prioritize. One would be in line with your career, one would be in line with self-growth or personal development, and one would be for leisure. So those are the three categories that I would guide my clients on in getting crystal clear. Ano ba yung priority nila for each category so that they don't get overwhelmed wanting to do so many things all at the same time, all in 1 year, because the reality is you can't do it. What you can do is achieve one life milestone, one at a time, every year. I want it to look like a domino effect. I want it to be like, if I prioritize my career, it will help me with my personal growth and my leisure goal. So for example, in my own journey, and so when I was able to prioritize my business for my career, it allowed me to take off the next box, which is I can now start saving for a wedding because I'm ready to get married with my partner. And then next is I was able to give myself permission to go on a solo trip to Palawan and then Europe as my leisure goal, because my business allowed me to fund those things. And so that's how I'd like you to think about your goals, is like, how can it be a domino effect instead of different buckets? Because when you see it as a domino effect, you get to be like, I just need to find out what is that first domino that will create that ripple effect. For your career, if in terms of setting goals or priorities for that, I'll make mine as an example. But ano ba yung dream job ko? So before, when I was in corporate, my dream job was to work in a specific industry. And so my goal was, okay, how can I reach out to the right people to find opportunities in that industry? So that's one for corporate professionals. It's putting yourself out there, right? And then another route could be for some of my clients, it's like they love what they do in corporate, but they want to negotiate their salary better. So could it be that you're gonna need to pluck up the courage to ask for an increase or to step out of your comfort zone so that you could get into another position in your current employer? So that's kind of like a concrete career goal that you could have. Or for me, when I decided I wanted to pivot from corporate to starting my business, I had to think about, okay, how much funds do I need so that I could have the safety, the confidence to be able to quit my job and do my business full time. So it has to be a very concrete milestone that would allow you to know, okay, this is when I would know that I can really see a change in the career that I want. I love when breadwinners come to me for help. They're like, I want to prioritize funding my dreams, but I also don't want to feel like I'm selfish for not supporting my family anymore. And so I believe that we need to break first from the mindset of, if I prioritize myself, I would have to be selfish, because I believe there can be a balance, that you can balance taking care of yourself, growing, and also supporting your family. And I'd say they go hand in hand. Like, in order for you to give more to your family, in order to love your family more, you need to start with filling your own cup first. And so an example of this that when I guide my clients is really first having that safe space for yourself in understanding, what do I want for myself? Because for the longest time, most often than not, breadwinners or those who support their families, they're so focused on helping their family, they've forgotten about their own desires and dreams. And so, mas mahirap ngayon i-prioritize. Ano ba yung gusto ko? Hindi lang naman yung nabibili lang dyan online, yun na yun, diba? And so, it's so important that with your funds, you get to balance out, okay, how can I have a fund for myself where I get to prioritize my dream? May it be pivoting to that career, having that solo trip, or finally ticking that travel bucket list, whatever it may be. And then you still have a fund that is set aside for your family so that you don't have to feel guilty about prioritizing yourself, growing yourself, and taking that self-care for yourself, because you know that you have balanced out your funds to prioritize yourself while supporting your family. Which goal would create the most impact in your life? Because oftentimes, we think that every single thing is important, but we have to think about which goal will create the most impact in our life. And then when you're like, okay, it's this one. Okay, then what do you need to prepare 6 months prior to achieving that goal? So that you get to work backwards on, okay, kung ito yung gusto ko mangyari 6 months from now, what do I need to start doing today? Like today, not tomorrow, but today.